The story of David from the Bible spans his life, from his humble beginnings as a shepherd boy to his reign as one of Israel's greatest kings. His life is full of lessons about faith, humility, repentance, and leadership. David was the youngest son of Jesse, a shepherd from Bethlehem. When God rejected King Saul for his disobedience, he sent the prophet Samuel to anoint the next king. Samuel visited Jesse's family and was impressed by David's older brothers, but God said, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Samuel then anointed David, the youngest and least likely, as the future king of Israel, though at that time David was still a boy tending sheep. David's first major act of bravery came when Israel faced the Philistines. Goliath, a giant warrior, taunted the Israelite army for 40 days. No one dared to fight him, but David, visiting his brothers at the battlefield, stepped up with faith. He rejected the heavy armor of King Saul and faced Goliath with just a slingshot and 5 smooth stones. David declared, "The battle is the Lord's," and with 1 stone, he struck down Goliath. After defeating Goliath, David became a hero in Israel. He was brought into King Saul's court, and Saul grew increasingly jealous of David's success and popularity. Saul attempted to kill David several times, but David always fled and refused to harm Saul, even when he had the chance. David spared Saul's life twice, saying he would not raise his hand against the Lord's anointed. After Saul's death, David became king of Judah and eventually of all Israel. He was a skilled leader, uniting the tribes of Israel, expanding the nation's territory, and establishing Jerusalem as the capital. He brought the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, making it the spiritual center of Israel. David's leadership reflected his deep reliance on God, seeking God's guidance before going into battle and leading his people with justice. One of the most significant events in David's life is his sin with Bathsheba. While his army was at war, David saw Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah, bathing. He slept with her, and when she became pregnant, he tried to cover it up by arranging for Uriah to be killed in battle. The prophet Nathan confronted David with his sin, and David deeply repented, saying, "I have sinned against the Lord." Though God forgave David, the consequences of his sin brought great turmoil to his family. David's later years were marked by personal struggles, especially within his family. His son Absalom rebelled against him, causing civil war, and David had to flee Jerusalem for a time. Though David regained the throne, the conflict left lasting scars. Despite these troubles, David is remembered as Israel's greatest king. His reign is seen as the golden age of Israel, and God promised that the Messiah would come from David's lineage. This promise was fulfilled in Jesus Christ, who is often called the Son of David. David's life is a testament to the power of faith, repentance, and God's grace. He is one of the most significant figures in the Bible, not because he was perfect, but because he continually sought after God's heart. Throughout his life, David showed deep trust in God's power and plan. Whether facing Goliath or fleeing from Saul, David always relied on God for protection and guidance. This teaches us that trusting God is essential, even in the face of fear or uncertainty.